Hi, I'm Sylvia Yu Friedman. Welcome to Inspiring You with Sylvia Yu. I am so happy to introduce my guest, Samson Selladurai. He has a big vision, and that is through co-founding an app called I'm Safe. He wants to see a world where women are protected from exploitation, rape, trafficking, and you name it. So thank you, Samson. And he is also the director of Ruah Tech, and that is a company specializing in AI, VR, Web3, among other things. So Samson, thank you so much for all you're doing for women and girls through your app, I'm Safe. Tell us more about it.
Yeah, so it was just 3 years back. We had this a big vision to develop a tech solution for women's safety, because you see there's a lot of educational programs and empowerment programs, self-defense, but there's very few solutions from a technology point of view. And running a tech company ourselves for 7 years, we felt why not add technology to the mix? Because with tech there is scalability, can be a global adaptation. And then we felt, okay, let's use technology to make women feel safe. And while we were discussing about this, COVID happened. And we all know the whole world went into lockdown. And one statistics really disturbed us. That was in the first 11 days of lockdown, 92,000 child abuse cases registered in one country, in India. And we know if the registered was 92,000, unregistered, we don't know, it could be multiples of that. So that was the call to action for us to say, it's a clarion call. Let's use technology and make a difference to the world.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Thank you. So walk us through the app. Like how does it work and what is it all about?
So this app, any woman in any part of the world can download it. When a woman downloads the app, she can add her own trusted contact whom she feels will come to her in her time of need. It's pre-added into the app. And then when you press the SOS, the app sends the live location. The app timestamps it. And the app takes a photo from the front camera and the back camera. And the app also records an audio. And all of this data is stored on a secured blockchain platform, which means you cannot tamper the data or change or alter the data. Now, why is that important? Because we know in Southeast Asia or developing countries, when a woman is abused, most times the media fabricates the story. You don't get to the truth of it. When a woman is murdered, it's changed as suicide, or when there is a rape, it's changed as fight between two lovers. But with our app, when a woman asks for help, you cannot tamper or change the data. If it's at 8 p.m., it is at 8 p.m., not 8:01, not 8:05. So in that way, we bring integrity to the data and protect the woman. So that's what the app does. Of course, there's much more features, but we are just starting here for now.
Wow, that sounds like a game changer. Can you give us an example of how the blockchain technology has really revolutionized things for women?
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest use case which the world knows, if I say that, is actually Bitcoin. We all hear about Bitcoin. Bitcoin actually runs on the blockchain platform. And Bitcoin is not the only use case. There are use cases in the shipping and logistics industry where you can use bill of ladings, which is a key document in a import and export. That can be done on a blockchain platform. Data with fraudulent IDs and all of that to be verified, it can be used a blockchain platform. There's a variety of use case of blockchain. What we wanted to do was bring safety as an application for through the blockchain platform, and we wanted to bring safety to millions and millions of people, and that's why we felt we can use this technology, which is cryptographically secure, and bring women's safety aspect into it.
So far, 10,000 women at least have used the app. Have you heard of any cases where women were saved from a dire situation?
Yeah, we have more than 10,000 people using it. At this stage, women are using it for protecting themselves. It's a bit tricky because you want to have scenarios where women are protected by examples, but you equally don't want to have. So at this stage, we are having scenarios where people say the very fact I am safe in my phone, I feel safe, I feel secure. But I'm sure when we go into millions of users, we will have a percentage of people who will start coming out and saying, I felt unsafe, I pressed SOS, my friend came to help me, and I'm feeling more safe and things like that. At this stage, we are also in discussion with the South Australian police to get their endorsement, and hopefully once that process is done, then this can be rolled out to millions of people in Australia and worldwide as well.
Wow. So would I be able to use it when I go on a trip to Thailand, for instance, or is that do I have to wait?
Yeah,
And
absolutely. Right now, where you are, you can download it. It's very interesting. We get downloads from Ukraine, we get downloads from Israel, Mongolia, Thailand, Bangladesh all the time. And we haven't even done a serious marketing campaign. So what we understand is people are going to the app store and searching for safety apps. They're looking for, how do I keep myself safe, or I don't know what words they type in, but they are wanting to feel safe, and that's why we get downloads from so many countries, people using. So to answer your question, yes, right now you can use it and feel safe.
right, because the contact is someone that you know who will help you rather than law enforcement, right?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
correct. And
Okay.
there is a reason why we have not brought the police into it respectfully. There are some developed countries where you have a very good law enforcement and all of that, but there are most of the developing countries where when a woman goes to the police station to make a complaint, chances are she's abused at the station. So women don't trust the police. And look at imagine women in vulnerable places like working in a brothel or working in a different sort of environment. They don't want the police to come when they are in trouble. What they do want is their trusted friend, their mate coming and telling them, hey, I'm going to this meeting or I'm going into this place, watch my back. They want their trusted contacts to cover them, which is why we felt when a person asks for help, it will go to their trusted contact and not to the police.
Mm. So the recording is very important, isn't it? Have you had cases where it was used in court, or when a an abuse case was presented to the police?
Yeah, not at this stage, but as we are scaling up, I'm sure we will have a lot of cases like that. In fact, one of the reasons why the South Australian police were very interested to have a further discussion was the aspect of recording and the aspect of storing it on a unhackable database, so that when they go to the courts and you need evidence and all of that, this can be presented as evidence in some serious cases, like it could be homicide or those kind of cases. So the use case is there. We are just making the app more scalable and getting as many users as possible, so that more women start using it and we can help them, and they can see the tangible benefit of it.
Wow. And how did you get inspired to come up with this idea?
Look, one of my biggest inspiration has been William Wilberforce. I just now realized that at least been 15 years back, I've read the books, and I've seen the movie Amazing Grace, and Wilberforce always inspired me because if you look at the history, slavery was normal in his time when he was going against slavery in the 1800s. The culture of the day was considering slavery as a normal, and here is this guy, politically influential, going against the culture of the day because he believed that every man and woman had inherent dignity. And that was given by God. So Wilberforce has always been my inspiration. And little did I know that I would one day be working on an app that has something to do with rescuing people from modern day slavery. So it's very fascinating when you look at some of the inspiration figures we have as we grow up, and then that has something to do about who you are becoming or what you do, so.
Oh, that's wonderful. So what else are you still looking for in order to launch your app internationally? What else do you need?
So at this stage, we are talking to a lot of women organizations. So we have this feature called Ask for Help within the app. So what happens is we list a number of national hotlines, like emergency numbers. But outside that, there is a feature called Ask for Help. And what happens is a woman can go into that feature and type her need. Like she can say, I'm lonely, I'm feeling afraid, I'm feeling sad, I'm in a DV situation, whatever. When she presses send or request that help will go to a backend portal where we want exclusive women safety organizations to partner with us. So for example, in California, it could be a different organization. In Hong Kong, it could be a different organization. In Nepal, it could be a different women safety. So we want to partner with different women organizations and tell them, look, we are the tech partners or the tech experts, and you are the industry experts. So here is a request. You know how to handle it best. Can you take this request and handle and help this woman or child who's asking for help through the platform? So we want to have tie-ups and partners with so many NGOs and women organizations across the world. So that is our a big step at the moment, and we are already in discussions. We are partnering with a lot of people in India, Australia, but we want to take it global and see women helped in the millions.
Wow, wonderful. What have been some of the main challenges as you have conceived this Changemaker project?
Yeah, I would say one of the big challenge was we had to shift our mindset. For example, we have been running a tech services company, and then we moved on to develop this tech product. Running a service company and running a product company are two different mindset shifts. So in a service company, you know how to build, right? But in a product company, you need to know what to build. You need to know what is the immediate solution which the customer wants, how he wants. So the first time we tried, we failed because we went without doing a lot of our homework. And it was embarrassing in 2020 when we launched first and we failed. But then because the purpose with which we started it was so clear to us, we did not give up. We went back and re-strategized and did the whole thing differently. And then we took another 2 years of user development research, user feedback. We went to the experts. We had a lot of homework done. And then we repositioned the product completely different. And this time there was like the market reception was great. So yeah, we had to change a lot of the way how we thought and how we approached things. And it has helped us come a long way.
So what advice would you give to others who are, facing a mountain before them and they have a dream, but there are obstacles? So what would you say to those people?
Yeah, I would say pace yourself, because sometimes when you are a visionary, you are consumed by the end goal. And it's almost like when you see something, you can't unsee it. And that's the good and bad about being a visionary. So, for example, like us, when we saw the issue of women's safety, anti-trafficking, child sexual abuse, it's like we saw something that I could never unsee myself. So I was obsessed with solving it on day one, right? And then I realized, you can't do that. You have to pace yourself, and you have to sort of, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And it was very hard. I tell you, if you're a visionary listening to this, it will be very hard to go slow, but it's important. That's number one. And number two, have right mentors in the mentorship. So for me, meeting Matt Friedman from Mekong Club 1 year back was a step in the right direction, because I took him as a mentor who has been there with his 35 years of experience in this space. I wanted to sit and listen to him, how he sees the problem, how he sees the solution, so that we are not reinventing the wheel, or we are not trying to do it all over again. So having a mentor is very, very important, because they have gone ahead of you, and that's important. And number three, always keep your joy on, especially when you're working in situations like this. There are times where I've just sunk in tears. There are times when the problem was too overwhelming for me. Like 1 week back, I met a report of how 11-year girl was rescued from trafficking, and the horrors that she went through was overwhelming. But I had to take a step back and say, I can't let the problem consume me. I
Yes.
have to see it objectively and find strength. And for me, I find my strength in God, and have to position myself. So I think these are some of the little things that we do to help ourselves, and that's something that I'll be advising anyone.
Oh, absolutely resonate when you said that you cried, and yeah, the discouragement, getting over the discouraging moments is so key. And you've accomplished something that is so amazing. And having at least 10,000 women download it in 3 years, because you only launched 3 years ago. That's
No, we
very
actually
impressive.
launched just 6 months back. Just
Oh,
6 months back.
wow.
Yeah, yeah. So we are believing for a big scale up as we go. We started it 3 years back, but then that was a big fail. Like it was a momentary failure, so to speak. But then we relaunched it just 6 months back, and that's how we've been able to have a big traction. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow. Is there anything else you want to share about this app before I switch gears?
Uh, I would love to say that from a women safety app, we are also developing a anti-trafficking app called Freedom App, and we want to empower the leaders in the space of anti-trafficking and modern slavery with a technology solution. So we are looking to work with experts, and we are looking to bring a technology solution to the mix. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to a slave-free world and abuse-free world.
Wonderful. And I meant to say Matt Friedman, my husband, is yeah, just an incredible resource of information, because he's been pioneering in the fight against human trafficking for so many years. And I'm so glad
And
you
yourself,
connected.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm so blessed to be connected and mentored by Matt, but also yourself. I mean, I've read a lot of your blogs. I've read your, your book is in my yet to be downloaded list. I'll do that soon. And you've done fantastic work, and it's a collaborative work. No one person can do it alone. As much as technology is important, we cannot do it alone. As much as policing and awareness is important, that alone isn't enough. It is a collective effort, and we are in this together, and being together is a force that will change the culture. Yeah.
Yes. No, thank you. I really appreciate your enthusiasm and your kind words. Thank you, Samson. And we do have to discern who to partner with. That the partnerships are very key. So Samson, tell me about who has inspired you, your life, and as a change maker, who has motivated you over the years.
I would say my dad was one of my biggest inspiration, because he came from a very, very poor family. He literally studied in this street light, and then he joined a bank as a clerk, and then rose to be the chief general manager of the bank when he retired. So through honesty and hard work and the grace of God, he rose to be the top. So he taught us some values. He always taught us that, to do good, you should be capable and also have a willing heart. He taught us some of the things like, honesty is the best policy. He always told us that give the other person the benefit of the doubt. Like, these were some of the values he taught us. So this aspect of social work was ingrained in us even as we grew up, even as we saw the injustice right from a young age. There was this nurturing in us by our parents, not just my dad, but also my mom, that your life is not just yourself. You got a life of meaning, has to do something with helping others, those kind of things. So I would say dad is one of my biggest heroes. And then I've been blessed with a wonderful two siblings, my brother and sister, and then my beautiful wife. So it's like, as they say, it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
So I've been blessed with wonderful people around me, so who share the same values. And then again, I would attribute some of the the thought process to the books that I've read as right from a young age, like books like William Carey. I've read books about William Carey, William Wilberforce, Martin Luther. These are all Mother Teresa. These are all people who went against the norm of their time and they changed the culture. And yes, it takes time. And one of the famous story I love of Mother Teresa is, you might not have heard about this, but she goes to asking money from different people for helping the lepers. So one time when she stretched her hand, this guy, whatever he felt, I don't know, he said, I'm not giving you any money, and he spit on her hand. And then she just wiped that spit on her sari and said, that was for me, now please give for the lepers. Like that level of
Love
conviction
it. Yeah.
and that for serving. These are the stories you hear as you grow up, and then you start thinking, life has a full meaning when you start serving others. So I'm safe and Ruah Tech, a lot of work what we do has got that flavor from things like that. Yeah.
Oh, that's very beautiful. And it's about love at the end, the end of the day, isn't it? It's all about being motivated by love and compassion. Yeah.
Absolutely. When I came to Australia in 2008, I met my mentor here, Mark Mudry, and how we met was very, very wonderful, because we met randomly in a t-shirt shop. At that time, he was feeding a homeless guy. And it's so interesting that sometimes the little insignificant things we do ends up in the most significant partnerships and the significant breakthroughs in our life. So we connected, and we've been connected since then for 14 years or whatever. So, it's these little moments and inspirations from people that made me who I am today.
Yeah. How do you balance it all? Because you're running a company, Ruah Tech, and then you have this massive app that's about to go global. So how do you prevent burnout, Samson?
Yeah, two key people in my life, I have to attribute it to. Number one, my wife. She's my absolute support. My even now, all that I do is because she is a big support to me emotionally, and also gives me that space. She handles things where I can't do it. So she's one of my biggest support. And number two is my twin brother and my CEO, Giftson. So, he takes a major role in things outside I'm Safe, be it Ruah Tech or be it other things that we do. And he lets me take a major role in I'm Safe so that we balance it out. So, yeah, it's having these key people around you. And of course, we have a wonderful team, that supports the vision, who just takes it who believe in the vision, and that really helps us to do what we do. Yeah, so that's the reason why we are able to do it.
Oh, that's great to hear. So what is a piece of advice that you would give to your younger self?
Yeah, actually, I think I touched upon it before. If I look back my life, I realized sometimes I was punching above my weight. Like as a young person, you are too optimistic. You want to change the world tomorrow on day one. But now when I look back, I would say to my younger self, pace yourself. Because anything that is of value will take time, and that's very important. And sometimes if you run too fast, we get weary too quickly. And when we pace ourselves, we can handle ourselves for the long run. That is number one. Number two, again, I come back to the space of having a mentor. So my brother and I, we are a first generation businessman. My dad worked in a bank, and it's a different environment when you're working like a 9-to-5 job. My dad, he's an absolute amazing personal mentor, but sadly I lost him in 2016. It was one of the devastating moments of my life. But as a first generation entrepreneur, you sometimes are trying to do things on your own. You are learning from failure. It's good to have a mentor, a business mentor who has gone ahead of you, who can see the pitfalls, who can see, the good things, and then say, do this and don't do this and watch your back. We did not have that, like, for a long, long time. And I would say, turning back, that was something that I would change. I would first thing have a business mentor and tell them, look, I want you to mentor me here. I need your help, and then just pace myself. So yeah,
Right.
these are the things.
Wise words, Samson. Having a mentor and accountability, people
Yeah.
around you who can, be your eyes and ears if you're getting too tired or too consumed. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom.
Yeah,
Is there
thank you
anything
so
else
much.
you'd like to add, Samson?
Look, I just want to touch base on, each of us have a gift from God, and we all have unique skills and we all have unique talents. Not all talents look like developing an I am safe app, but we all have talents, and we just have to do that faithfully, so that in the bigger picture, in the macro scheme, we are all working together to build a world that is so healed than what it is today. Today, in today's world, challenges and problems have become a statistics, but we miss the whole personal connection. And I just feel that each of us, when we live the best version of us, be it, it could be an accountant, it could be a carpenter, it could be a strategist, doesn't matter. But when we become the best version of ourselves, we make a better world. And that's one thing I just want to share. So yeah, and I want to appreciate you and Matt, for the phenomenal work you do. Thank you so much. It is much, much, much needed. And if there's one request I have for you both is, your work needs to be amplified to the rest of the world, because what you're pioneering is so significant and so important. And well done.
Oh no, thank you. I'm humbled to hear you say those very, very kind words. Thank you, Samson. And I say the same to you. Thank you for pioneering this app. And I'm downloading it. It sounds amazing. And also the advice on pacing yourself. That is so important. I mean, I worked on 3 books in the last 12 months, and yeah, I feel tired. It has to be
Yeah.
sustainable, right? So,
Yeah, and the funny thing is, like, as an entrepreneur, you come with some inbuilt characteristics, and one of them is we struggle to slow down. We always struggle to slow down. We get excited by the big thing, and we get excited by what we can accomplish, because we are driven by goals and we are driven by, a vision. Like I said, like your vision to see justice, your vision to see people rescued, that keeps you awake at night, and that is your fuel, right? And sometimes without realizing, we just run so fast and so quick. But yeah, we just need that support system to pace ourselves and see the bigger picture.
absolutely. Yes, I find that it goes in waves for
Yeah.
me, that in the last 12 months, it's been more solitary, more writing. And then after a season like this, I'm usually, then all of a sudden with people and on the front
Yes.
line again.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's been my saving grace in
Yes.
not going constantly like at high speed.
Yes.
And I've burnt out before. So yeah, so this has helped me in the last, many years, having a rhythm where it's not high speed all the time, but that, sometimes, I am recharging for like a year or two, and then I get really busy again. I get more involved in campaigning again.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah, so yeah, Samson, it's been an absolute pleasure. I hope you get all the contacts, all the resources that you need. You are looking for NGO partners. So I hope that anyone who is watching this will help Samson connect. Feel free to add him on LinkedIn. My husband, Matt, and I are just so blessed and really happy to be connected with Samson. and to support his app, I'm Safe. So thank you so much for watching Inspiring You with Sylvia Yu. And thank you, Samson Selladurai. Sorry, am I saying?
That's all right.
Selladurai.
Selladurai. That's
Selladurai. Okay, Samson Selladurai. Please forgive me, Samson. Please add Samson Selladurai on LinkedIn. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sylvia.